Hey, what's up, you guys? I am Aaron, and today I will share with you guys my financial journey to go from zero at 23 to $420,000 at the age of 31. That is until the market crashed and I lost 100K, and now I'm at 325. But not the whole 100K wasn't completely investment related. I had to put in a lot of deposits for a wedding that got canceled because of why I'm doing this. And I also, spent a lot of money furnishing a new place where me and my fiance will live. It's pretty nice. I guess I could show it around a little bit. Got it's 2 beds, 1.5 bathrooms. That's one of the bathrooms. Workout thing, light, TV, you know, two of these, that table. There's a bigger kitchen. It's a mini fridge I'm gonna take upstairs to my bedroom. Yeah, it's 2 floors. Anyways, back to business. Back to business. So, yeah. So let's start. When I first graduated from college, UCLA, had a 3.5 GPA, got my first job as a consultant. And, you know, the first thing I did when I got that job, first time I had money, I made sure I gave $15,000 to my parents. And not just because I lived with them and they weren't charging me rent, so if we can just call that rent, but also because, no amount of money that I give will, justify the amount that they've spent on me growing up. But it was a small and good gesture. But anyways, net of that, I was able to save about $11,000. So let's go over here. So there you go, 11,000, age 23. And then at age 24, I decided I was gonna buy my first house. I was also a CFA level 1 candidate. And I don't know, it's kind of a bad idea to buy a house when you're changing jobs. So I made sure I bought a house before I switched jobs. I passed L1. That's the CFA charter, CFA level 1 candidacy. You have to take 3 tests. Supposedly a super hard test. But yeah, so I passed it. Then I decided to switch industries. I went and started working in finance, or as the elitists would call it, finance. And, once I got my house, I started studying for L2, with a new job. And it was tough because it was a lot of reading. I thought I was going to fail, but unfortunately, I passed. And I say unfortunate because, I took L3 and I failed that like twice, so I had to take it 3 times. And, these things, they take like 300 hours to study for, supposedly. I didn't study that much. But that's the recommended amount of study time. And I just kept failing and didn't know why. But, the thing is, when I passed L2, I was so surprised and ecstatic that, I bought myself a Benz, like it's an E350. So I went a little crazy, it happens when you get a little bit more money. And then when I failed L3, I was a bit depressed, so I started going to Vegas. But at that point, I had like 120K. And, I would go, like my weight would go up and down. I'd get fit for Vegas and gain weight for the test. It was kind of like, I guess it was depressing for sure. Failing is depressing as heck, especially when you put in, the effort. But whatever. Anyway, so at age 28, I got my CFA charter once I got 4 years of work experience in the investment industry. Then I started researching stocks, but at age 29, I got I started buying up these stocks. So I took a whole year researching first. Then at 29, I bought my first stock. I started building a portfolio. Like all throughout these time periods, I was just investing in my 401k, my IRA, and, paying off damn bills. But in any case, after that, you know, I started getting serious with someone. I didn't mean to do it. Like initially my plan was to be 35 with $1 million. Not gonna happen. And you know, go retire at a third world country and stuff like that. But you know, kept going to the club, fell in love. Dang you, Usher. Dang you. Anyway, so at that point I had 223K. You know, and it got serious. You know, I wasn't. Anyways, let's not talk about that. I get in trouble. So, anyways, Marina, you know, her name is Marina. I took her very seriously at that point. 276K at age 30, and at this point, I'm just doing that. Like I'm saving whatever I can on a tax-deferred account, lowering my taxes, and just maxing everything out, and it just keeps compounding. And then we got engaged last year, and I had about 380K. It's actually more than a year. Like it's like February, so I didn't have 380K at the time, but you know the market kept going up, and this is actually it went up even further by the time it hit March. So I was sitting at like 420, and then it came crashing down. You know, and obviously all my expenses too. So now I have 320K, 25K at age 32. And that is pretty much it. And then the rest of these numbers are basically my estimates of where I'm going to be. Obviously, I'm not going to be 323. Market's probably going to bounce back up. If I had to guess, this would probably be like closer to 360. And then these would, you know, adjust, obviously. But by age 40, I should have about a million. I'd say probably 38. 38 is probably the most likely number where I would hit $1 million. And, you know, here's a nice, beautiful chart. Kind of details it. Big bump. Hopefully that bounces back. If it doesn't, whatever. You know, that's the name of the game. But the point is, there's a lot of cheap stocks out there. So you should always be invested, especially if you're young. That would be my advice, and I think that would be everyone's advice. Just because even if you had invested during the worst time during the financial crisis, you'd still be up like I'd say maybe 50%. So the point is, you know, even if you invested at the top peak of the market 3,400, I'd still hang on as long as you're young. It's time in the market that pays, not timing the market. Stole that from some quote. But any case, that is my financial journey. I hope that helps you. You should copy the spreadsheet. It's fairly simple. You know, you just put down your age, year, your net worth, and then description. Yeah, I worked at KFC. I was also selling knives, Cutco, baby. And I got a bunch of scholarships. And yeah, you know, fairly good at school. Obviously, school doesn't determine how much money I'll make, but really good at it. You know, it sets you up for a stable future. You know, but yeah, I was mostly like a 3.5 GPA kind of guy, even in high school. So this says Cal State Long Beach because I was accepted, but I went to community college to save that money. I'm all about value, and the choices was either like $1,000 a year versus like I think 25K a year. So it was a very easy decision for me. Also, yeah, mom had cancer. I guess a little bit about the personal side, but she's fine now. Obviously, she recovered, and at the top, you know, I have like growth rates. That's just the expected return. I have another spreadsheet that kind of estimates that. But, you know, typical market returns are about, you know, 7 to 10% for the stock market. Contributions, that's how much I save per month currently. And then inflation, I don't know. I use that for another thing to kind of like estimate where the 1% is going to be. I don't know. I'm shooting for 1%. Will I get there? Very likely. Why? Because I follow a plan. I set goals, and you know, I take a lot of risk. I mean, it's not a lot of risk. It's just an acceptable amount of risk. Well, technically, I take a lot of risk. I am 100% in the market, and it's like cash, but you know, there I do have a lot of cash, but it's mostly cash that I need for liquidity. Like I need this cash because if I do not have that cash, they're gonna ding me for not paying my bills. So the key is always to have a liquid amount of cash and to always be fully invested. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this financial journey with me. Hope you guys like and subscribe. It'll help me a lot. And I'll keep creating content. The spreadsheets that I use, I have a bunch of them. And this is just, the one I've been working on. Anyways, I've actually created a new one because, I was looking at this and I was like, oh, it's not right. It's not right. You don't see the volatility. You don't see the craziness. And I decided to start here, make this the starting point when everything crashes, just so it makes me look smarter. No, I'm just kidding. But here's the new spreadsheet that I got. And so this one, I just listed 420 because I remember that's where I was. And then 323 is because, that's where I am right now. I lost 23%. That's the estimated amount of monthly. So this is a monthly statement. Let me just say that. This one follows how much per month my net worth changes and how much I'm saving. That's an estimate. And anyways, using the monthly function, it looks like I'm going to be a millionaire at, let's see, at at 2028. So I'll be 38 years old. So this is more accurate than the other one just because this is following a monthly pattern. And hopefully I get there. Honestly, I really want the money for financial freedom. Big fan of that. I don't know how it'll turn out with the fiance, trying to convince her that someday we can retire on a beach somewhere in the Philippines and just, live off of my monthly income from passive investments. And anyways, that is the goal. And I hope you guys like this. I hope you guys benefited. And please like and subscribe. And again, it would really help me out with the YouTube algorithm. I'm just biting off what everyone's saying, so it would really help me. A bit about the crisis. I'm A-okay. Still working, just have a lot of free time. So I decided to give this a go, and maybe it'll become a new avenue of income for me. Again, this is not, as a disclosure, this is not financial advice. I'm basically just giving off, what I've done with my life and basically telling a story. If you want financial advice, you should get a financial advisor. Though I am a financial advisor, I do not practice that. So mostly in the investment research stuff and the stocks. So yeah, please please subscribe. I'm begging you. And if you have a comment, if you have a question, let me know and I will get right back to you. Deuces.